Trying to get to the university before Nodal notices he broke his oath, the Doctor accidentally lands himself and Bill in the past, at the final Frost Fair in 1814. He decides to enjoy the unexpected trip. However, something sinister is lurking below the frozen Thames. Welcome, friends and companions! This day is a good day for live streaming. So it's called Good Friday. So you fellows have a nice Good Friday then. Yeah, and I thought, yes, let's go live streaming. Yes, but I'm very excited to live stream today. So we do another live stream today. I have a very special episode every. But first, I do the announcement and commercials. So, sci-fi fantasy fans meet on this channel for fun chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food and drinks, music and sport. And we don't do religion or politics, because that is not entertainment. Random cast where we will discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies, series, books, and music, and a special place for Doctor Who on this channel. A special place on this channel, and a special place in my heart for the Doctor. Ha 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 ha. Random also. Because we will broadcast on non-fixed times, actually many different times, also depends on your time zone, by the way. You need to subscribe to this channel to know what time the broadcast is. Yes, that is called random. And yeah, so it's free. For free. By the way, it's for free, this live stream. You have not to pay for this. Oh, okay. Whatever. Random also because we have no guests or different guests. It depends who wants to join me in live stream or panel. If you want to join me in live stream, feel free to contact me via Discord or YouTube and we will look what is possible. Discord server is called Random Entertainment Channel. Tag Doctor Who, you'll find me in the list. If you go to this board and tag Doctor Who, I bump the server regularly, so you'll find me. You can contact me and send me a DM. So, season 1 or series 14, whatever, the 10th or 11th May of 2024, depends on which time zone you live. Episode 1, The Call of the Universe. Also, on the 10th or 11th of May 2024, Episode 2, The Devil's Court. The following titles are most likely season 1 slash series 14 titles, so subject to change. Episode 3, Dream a Little Dream of Me. Episode 4, Albion. Episode 5, Copycat. Episode 6, Notice Neptune. Episode 7, The Three Body Problem. Episode 8, Goodbye, Ruby Sunday. So, again, these titles are most likely season 1, series 14 titles, so subject to change, but most likely these are the titles. And the question is, Jodie Whittaker will return to Doctor Who? Who knows? So cheers, mate, and have lots of fun. Your host, Enigmatic Joker, that's my name. And today we have a 12th Doctor story called Tin Eyes. So how is this live stream build up? First, I do some general info. Then we will dive into the plot. Then we will do some story notes, and last but not least, the continuity and context, because whole Doctor Who universe is in context. There are some references to the past, and there are also future episodes reference to this. So all connected in some extent, some way. So If you And for the plot, I will give a spoiler, by the way. So I highly recommend you to watch and or listen this episode first before you continue for this live stream. So, so some general info about this TV story, Tin Ice. So Tin Ice was the third episode of series 10 of Doctor Who. The events of the story follow on directly from Smile, with the TARDIS arriving in London just moments after the Doctor and Bill left the human colony planet. As was the case in Cold Blood and Kill the Moon, the Doctor shows a refusal to do anything that could drastically alter the history of Earth on his own. Instead, he makes his companion make the decision. However, this time the Doctor takes a different approach. Instead of leaving his companion to solely decide on what to do, this time the Doctor offers advice and encouragement to help his companion decide. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Another thing. So, we will now dive into the plot. So, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Watch this episode and then come back. So, let's go. The 12th Doctor and Bill are shocked to find themselves on the ice of one of the frost fairs seeing an African elephant. Before Bill has more time to come to terms with what she's seeing, the Doctor rushes her back into the TARDIS. As the Doctor works at the controls, Bill inquires if they've gone to a parallel world. The Doctor tells her that it's not. It's February 4th, 1814, the last Frost Fair. Bill questions why they aren't back, asking the Doctor why he can't steer the TARDIS. The Doctor states you don't steer the TARDIS, but reason with it rather unsuccessfully. Quote, she's a bad girl, this one, always looking for trouble. End of the quote. So, the TARDIS moves to a bridge above the River Thames. They exit back out, with the Doctor explaining that the all comes tomorrow, so he needed a more reliable parking spot. The Duck is up to going to the fair, but Bill points out that they are in an era where her race was enslaved. He dismisses her worries, giving a series of complicated directions of the TARDIS interior. When Bill asks him what he's talking about, the Doctor tells her that's where the wardrobe is located and to go pick out a dress. Bill then laughs that the TARDIS has dresses and heads back into the find the wardrobe. The Doctor bumps into a man carrying a basket of fruit as he heads back into the TARDIS. The man loses a fruit over the bridge. The screen follows the fruit to the ice, where it passed by a drunken man who stumbles onto an area of thin ice. He notices lights under the ice, which spin rapidly around him. In the following moment, he falls through the ice, which seals back up. The only thing left of the drunkard is his bottle. Bill steps outside the TARDIS later, dressed in fancy period clothing. The Doctor exits next, wearing a suit and top hat. Bill wonders if there is anything they need to be on the lookout for, as the Doctor shuts the door. As they leave the TARDIS, the monitor gives off an alarm. A map of the River Thames appears on the screen, with a large portion of it pulsing red. It warns that a large creature is living in the river. As they walk, Bill asks about being in the past. She wonders if the future could be changed by the slightest things she does. The Doctor jokes their friend stepped on a butterfly and ceased to exist. Now Bill can't even remember him. Bill notes the Doctor's joking. They were the only passengers in the TARDIS. As they walk, a street urchin offers them a flyer for the Frost Fair on the Thames. Bill is hesitant, prompting the doctor to tell her that she's just taking a flyer, not altering the history of her planet. Reaching the Thames, Bill hesitantly walks onto the ice, becoming ecstatic at the prospect of being on the frozen river. The doctor and Bill head to enjoy the fair. Watching a wrestling match, Bill cheers enthusiastically. The doctor, however, is not that impressed. He tells her that real wrestling involves zero gravity, tentacles, and magic spells. Amused by the idea, Bill notes that Regency London is a lot more racially diverse than she remembers from the movies. The doctor remarks that, quote, so was Jesus' history a whitewash, end of quote. Bill plays a bowling game and wins, telling the doctor that she's on a team back home. They visit a pie shop where the doctor has a bet with the proprietor over a coin toss. Bill enjoys some pie, noticing green lights under the ice. The doctor tells the pie man that he knows he cheated on the coin toss, asking him how he did it. It's a very impressive trick. However, the man takes offense. The doctor attempts to diffuse the tension by stating he is a skilled conman too, saying he could steal anything in the shop without him knowing it. Bill and the doctor are promptly thrown out, with the doctor revealing he managed to steal some more pie. Concerned about the lights, Bill asks the doctor if there's any side effect to time travel. He jokes that seeing lights under the ice is one, annoying Bill. If he saw them before, why didn't he bring it up? The doctor tells her that he knew they'd get to work eventually, but decided they should enjoy the fair first. They are approached a girl named Kitty, who asks for help looking for a lost dog. Bill finds her adorable, willing to help. The doctor looks at the leash Kitty is holding, asking her to describe the dog. A boy in a large red hat sneaks up on the doctor. Kitty tells him that she is looking for a small brown dog. Smiling, the doctor congratulates Kitty on her con, knowing she was lying because the leash belongs to a big white dog. He quickly grabs the boy's hand as he attempts to pickpocket his sonic screwdriver from behind, only for Kitty to kick his leg and knock him down. Kitty and the boy flee, while Bill helps the doctor up. Hiding in an unoccupied tent, the boy, Spider, wonders what a sonic screwdriver is. Kitty doesn't know, but guesses it could be worth a lot of money. Having lost sight of them, Bill wonders why the doctor is so upset they stole his, quote, magic wand. He firmly tells her that it is a sonic screwdriver. She asks how it's a sonic screwdriver. The doctor tells her it's sonic because it makes noise and a screwdriver in a broad sense. They turn around, finding Kitty and Spider running off to pawn the sonic screwdriver. Kids run past thin ice warning sign with Kitty making it back to shore. However, Spider becomes distracted by the green lights despite Kitty yelling at him. Spider is sucked under the ice, leaving only his outstretched arm, with the sonic screwdriver protruding through the ice. Though the doctor tries, he cannot save him and only manages to retrieve his screwdriver. He examines it to make sure no damage has been suffered. A shocked Bill demands the doctor save the boy. The doctor says he can't. The doctor apologizes to Kitty for not being able to save Spider, warning that the danger is not over. He immediately deduces there are more kids living around, asking Kitty to take him to them. Kitty thinks it's because he wants to take them to the magistrate and turns to run away. The doctor quickly grabs her arm, stating they only want to help. Kitty points out Bill is gone. When the doctor turns to look, Kitty gets free of his grip and runs into the fog. The doctor ponders quickly which girl to go after, deciding he must find Bill first. The doctor finds Bill in a secluded spot, telling her to get used to asking how he finds her. He asks what's wrong. Bill says she's never seen anyone die before. The doctor reminds of their last adventure, where the dead were used as fertilizer. Bill states it's different because they were already dead. Morally and practically, that's not a useful distinction. Unlearn it. Bill yells at him to stop telling her what to think. He jokes back that as our tutor, he's supposed to. Angered by his indifference towards the death of that boy, Billy wants to know how many people he's seen die. He's lost count. Further angered, Bill asks if he's ever killed because he sees a look in his eyes sometimes. The doctor starts to defend the action, but Bill adamantly tells him to answer the question. With a deep sigh, the doctor admits he has killed, but didn't keep count. The doctor tells her that he is 2,000 years old and doesn't have the time for the luxury of outrage, otherwise more people would die. They need to intervene before the kids living Roth End up on the menu. Kitty overhears them talking and asks what they mean. Seeing the doctor means well. Kitty takes the doctor and Bill to meet the rest of the urging gang, including the girl who handed Bill the flyer. The doctor produces pies he stole from his top hat, winning the urchin's trust after Kitty vouches for him. As night falls, the doctor reads a book to the urchins by a warm fire. Nearby, Kitty puts provisions in a cabinet. Bill tells her that the doctor can help them if they help in return. Kitty wonders what Bill does besides yell at the doctor. Bill says that they were arguing and she has moved on from what she was angry about. Done with the story, the doctor asks if the children have seen anything strange lately. Per Kitty's prompting, the little girl reveals a man with a tattoo of a ship on his hand, paid them to pass out fleers to the fair. Deciding the lead is boring and too broad, the doctor decides that he and Bill need to follow the only other one they have. Following the doctor out of the urchin's home, Bill asks him what he means. The doctor leads Bill along the river, telling her that what they know is that lights under the ice have been, quote, eating people. However, they don't know why. The logical solution is to get in. Finding some diving suits, the doctor and Bill don them as preparation of being pulled under by the lights. The doctor tells her that she doesn't need to worry about them being defenseless. Bill asks if he has magic alien powers. The doctor gives an annoyed look, prompting Bill to ask if that was a rude question. On the ice, the doctor explains that the lights are smart, choosing isolated targets. However, once he walks a few meters away, lights begin spinning around Bill below the ice. She yells to get the doctor's attention. However, her voice is heavily muffled by a primitive diving suit. At wit's end, Bill throws her lantern at the doctor's head. He bounces off, making the doctor turn around just as Bill falls through. The doctor jumps through the ice before it reseals, making a human-sized hole. Down below, Bill is safe. She and the doctor discover a giant sea creature chained at the bottom of the river. Bill sees the head belonging to the boy who was sucked under in its mouth before they head back to the surface. On the surface, the pieman is fishing. The doctor and Bill climb out of the hole in the ice he cut. Taking off their helmets, the doctor notices him. The pieman flees. The doctor yells for him to wait as he loves his gun. Bill thinks about the creature's moans, telling the doctor she could feel the creature's voice in her bones. It sounded miserable down there. The doctor walks over to the fish basket the pieman left behind, picking up an odd anglerfish. He questions what they get out of feeding the creature as they are not carnivores. Bill is sickened to learn the pie she ate was made out of those fish. She loved that fish pie. Deciding the pieman might have answers, they head to the docks, finding him hiding. The doctor earnestly asking for the pieman to teach him the coin trick. However, Bill reminds him that they have more pressing matters. The doctor asks if the man's seen someone with a tattoo of a ship, but the pieman is silent, wondering if the man's against tattoos. The doctor states that he is as well. I think that we are bonding. Bill points out the flaw in the question, asking if she's seen someone with a tattoo of ship near the river. Realizing that this will get them nowhere, Bill asks if the pieman has heard of anything odd going on near the Thames. The pieman reveals that the dredgers have been working very hard. They are also heavily guarded by guardmen dredging mud out of the river. Daytime. The doctor and Bill observe the dredgers hauling buckets of gunk out of the Thames. Bill wonders how they are going to get past the guards, prompting the doctor to flash the psychic paper. Bill reads off that says he works for the palace. The doctor notes that he hasn't heard that one in a while. They walk down to the operation, being brought to the foreman, who is intimidated by the psychic paper sly. He asks if Lord Sutcliffe knows they are here. Muttering the question to himself and Bill, the doctor says Lord Sutcliffe insisted upon them coming from an inspection. As the foreman walks off to check on the waters, Bill inspects a brick of the gunk, wondering why they're investigating over a mile away from the creature. The doctor tells her that the creature has had it back by the fair. They're on the other end of it now, meaning that it's not mud that the dredgers are hauling out of the Thames. It's the creature's waste matter. Bill drops the brick in disgust, quickly wiping her hand on her coat. Rejoining the foreman, the doctor inquires if the men can be trusted. It's been ensured that no one follows the muck between Transporter to Hampton. However, the foreman corrects him, explaining the carts go to the steel mill. The doctor quickly covers the blunder, explaining Hampton is code for the steel mill. Quote, we have to speak in code, otherwise anyone can walk in here and get you babbling away like a fool. End of quote. The foreman agrees with the idea of using code as precaution. Bill lost to herself. Noting the foreman is a man of intelligence, the doctor goads him into revealing what he knows about the muck. The foreman tells them that the waste of the creature is more efficient than coal, burning 1,000 times longer, and the fire from it is hotter than can be measured. The doctor half jokes that the foreman won't be having his job much longer at the rate he's going, making the man think he's going to get a promotion. The foreman also reveals that it's rumored to burn underwater, astonishing Bill. They visit the manor home of the employee, Lord Sutcliffe, an employer. Bill wonders why, to which the doctor explains that waste can be used for interstellar fuel. So they need to figure out if Sutcliffe is an alien hiding on Earth or a human who's taken advantage of the creature. The doctor insists he does the talking as they must charm Sutcliffe into revealing the information they need. Bill is likely to become angered due to the creature eating the children. Under the guise of Dr. Disco of the Fairford Club, the doctor meets Sutcliffe, who instantly makes sexist, classist, but mainly racist remarks towards Bill, even calling her a quote creature and demanding she knows and demanding she shows, quote, respect in the presence of her betters, end of quote. Bill quietly seethes with anger, with a look of disgust on her face. The doctor taps Sutcliffe on the shoulder, prompting him to turn around for a punch to the face. As Sutcliffe falls down, the doctor states Sutcliffe is very human, very clearly human. Bill agrees that if Sutcliffe was an alien, then that was pretty convincing racism. Bill and the doctor are quickly captured by Sutcliffe's minions with a bruised Sutcliffe, revealing the creature has been a family secret for generations. The doctor deduces Sutcliffe which funded the current fair to draw in more people for the creature to digest. The man holding the doctor has tattoo of a ship on his hand, meaning he's the one who hired the urchins to hand out flyers. So Sutcliffe explains the creature is responsible for freezing the river, which allows the frost fairs to take place. Doctor says he prevented when he thought Sutcliffe was an alien. It would explain the lack of humanity. Sutcliffe states if it's no different from losing lives in a coal mine. Sutcliffe plans on blowing up the ice and sinking numerous victims to feed the creature. It is confused as everyone will see it. However, Sutcliffe states that people would be too stupid to notice the creature as they will stop to mourn the ice, quote, breaking. He claims to be moving the world forward by using his new fuel, citing that the lives of those eaten by the creature were not important. However, the doctor tells him real value is putting an unimportant life above his own. Sutcliffe notes that the speech would have moved anyone with the slightest bit of compassion. He then adds, not your lucky day, is it? The doctor and Bill are shoved into a carriage by Sutcliffe, who then plans on storing them at the fair until he can detonate the ice. Not wishing to risk the duo having warned others to stay away, he plans on detonating at noon after he brings an elephant to draw in a crowd. Sitting in the carriage, Bill mocks the doctor for telling her that passion fights and logic wins. The doctor tells her not to be smug, as that belongs to him. She asks if the doctor really is 2,000 years old, prompting him to ask why. With an impressed smile, Bill asks if it takes that long to be able to make a righteous speech like the doctor did. If so, it's worth the wait for getting that old. Doctor smiles, happy Bill has seen his better side. Once, at the fair, Doctor and Bill are tied to a pole nearly explosive in a tent, and Bill thinks he can save them by screaming for help. However, the doctor tells her not to bother. Ignoring the doctor, Bill screams for help at the top of her lungs. The doctor only waits for her to stop with an annoyed look. Bill's screams are being drowned out by the cheers of the patrons watching the performances. Once done yelling, Bill asks the doctor what they should do. He asks her to help him get his sonic screwdriver to cut through the ropes they're in. This also attracts the angler fish. Their guard rushes in and the doctor hands him the sonic, causing the fish to become attracted to him. The doctor tells him to toss the sonic back, having already untied himself. The man is sucked below by the fish. Free the doctor. Free? The doctor tells Bill that they have two choices. Let the creature suffer for centuries or free it. Bill points, Bill points out that it could kill everyone if let go. She adds they already have the answer. The doctor tells her only idiots have the answers. The doctor tells her that it's her choice. He works for the human race and will only do something that could drastically change the future of their planet only if he's ordered to do so by a human. Remembering the creature's moans of agony, Bill tells the doctor to free it. With that, the doctor tells her that he will, telling her to get everyone off the ice beforehand. Elsewhere, Kitty is attempting to pickpocket someone until her arm is grabbed by another person. To her relief, it's Bill. She tells Kitty to get the urchins to spread word that the ice is thawing to scare people back to safety. The urchins spread word of the ice breaking and someone falling in, quickly getting everyone to leave. Sutcliffe sees everything running away and attempts to dissuade the people from leaving. Realizing that he needs to hurry, Sutcliffe uses the detonator repeatedly, but nothing happens. You detonate repeatedly, but nothing happens. And however, that's far from the truth. Below, each attempt to detonate instead breaks the chains holding the creature in place. The doctor switched the explosives positions. So, aggravated by the lack of success, Sutcliffe goes back to the stockpile to see what's wrong. Entering the tent, he sees some of the barrels are missing and the sonic screwdriver hanging on a wire, jamming the signal. He attempts to hold it, but is startled by the sudden sound of the cracking of the ice. He goes outside to see the creature's fin swimming by. The force of it going by cracks the ice, and Sutcliffe falls in, never to be seen again. Bill manages to avoid falling in, thanks to the doctor. He pulls her up to the docks. As he pulls the wire holding the sonic screwdriver up, both of them are splashed by the creature as it swims away and avoiding harming anyone. Bill wonders where it will go now. Doctor believes the fish will end up somewhere cold and try to avoid the human race for the rest of its life. However, she then wonders if they just doomed Greenland. As this is possible, the doctor promises to check on Greenland in its future to see if the fish is there now. Later, Kitty arrives outside Sutcliffe's home with the urchins, telling the children to behave and not steal anything. Bill lets them in, leading them to the dining hall. In the hall, the doctor is scraping a name of Sutcliffe's will, asking a boy for his name. It's Perry. When Kitty asks why, Bill states that Sutcliffe's long lost hire couldn't be Kitty. Back in 2017, Nardell enters the doctor's office at St. Luke's University. Placing the tea on the doctor's desk, he notices that the doctor is still in period garb. Nardell reminds the doctor that he promised not to go off world. The doctor sarcastically asks if it looks like he's wearing off-world clothes. He tells him that he's returned to his office as promised in his tea-drinking clothes. Bill exits the TARDIS, still in her period garb, revealing that the doctor has broken his oath. He reminds the doctor of his vow, whilst Bill is surprised that Googling the sea creature from 1814 turned up no results. The doctor explains that humans tend to overlook the inexplicable and that the Frost Fair involved a lot of day drinking. He shows her the headlines which detail Lord Sutcliffe's visits that, and despite the contention of inheritance, Perry was eventually deemed the legitimate heir. The doctor and Nardo soon toss a coin to decide whether the doctor keeps his vow and remains on Earth, or Nardo leaves him alone. Using a trick he learned from the con artist, the doctor wins, presumably goes off in the darkness with Bill whilst Nardo checks the vault. As he goes to leave, knocking comes from inside. Nardo refuses to let the entity out before hurrying away, looking very worried. And that, my friends and companions, is the plot. I'll name some cast members. The Doctor, the 12th Doctor, is played by Peter Capaldi. Bill is played by Pearl Mackie. Nardole is played by Mac Lucas. Sutcliffe is played by Nicholas Burns. Kitty is played by Asiatu Koroma. That is in the some characters in this story. Okay, some story notes. Um, Stephen Moffat joked in an interview that the intro to EastEnders was always about a giant snake, with a reference towards the view of the River Thames from above, which makes it look like a serpent. Another thing is, Spider is one of the few child characters to be killed on screen throughout the history of the program. Third thing, no, a story note is that for shots involving Doctor falling below the ice in his diving gear, were created by the model unit using a miniature one-third scale puppet inspired by a similar effect in James Cameron's film The Abyss. To create Capello's head, Stephen Mansfield was invited back to the production to sculpt the feature. And Mansfield had previously worked on the show during the era of Sylvester McCoy, making such creatures as Destroyer and the Hemephores. The members of the team who worked on the effects, as listed on the Facebook page, there are some. Okay. Also, Kitty warning Spider about how they be transported if caught is a reference to how England would transport convicts to Australia contemporaneously. Okay. Um, Next thing is and that's the also some world building, by the way. In science, that build things that they have traveled to a parallel world, and also the doctor says only real wrestling is in a zero gravity with tentacles and magical spells. And then in such cliff as mentioned, doctor plays with an orrery. Um, a species in world building is a lure fish who are swimming in the river Thames, luring people out on thin areas of the ice with their green light bulbs and trap them underneath for the serpent to feed on. Also, a species is that Doctor mentions fireflies, and last thing is the excrement from the sea serpent is used as fuel by Sutcliffe's people. So, um, some things about locations in world building. Stardust lands on the Blackfriars Bridge next to New Lime Wharf. The fair stretches from Blackfriars to London Bridge. And Doctor and Bill are heading towards Friesland Street. Um, so there are some locations in this story. So most of all, the River Thames. Okay, we now go to the continuity and the context of all this. So, first thing is that the Doctor and Bill find themselves in the middle of the frozen River Thames with an African elephant crossing their path. There's also a link to TV story Smile. Second thing is that the Doctor previously visited the 1814 Frost Fair with River Song, and they brought Stephen Warner with them to perform. That's in the TV story A Good Man Goes to War. He also mentions having been there before, quote, a few times, also in an audio adventure, Frostfire and Prose Frozen. A third thing is, in continuity and context, is that the Doctor gives Bill a similar set of directions to the TARDIS wardrobe that the Ninth Doctor gave Rose Tyler in the story The Unquiet Dead. Third thing is, in Rigidity London, Bill voices her fear that she will be enslaved due to the color of her skin. Martha Jones voiced the same concern when she visited London of 1599 with the Tenth Doctor. You can see that in the TV story, the Shakespeare Code. This time, however, the Doctor is far less dismissive of his companion's concerns. A fifth thing is Bill is similarly concerned about the butterfly effect, exactly like Martha in her first visit to London's past. Also, a reference, a link, a relation to the TV story, The Shakespeare Code. Sad thing is, when thinking they are in the present day of 2017, Bill speculates that they have been traveled to a parallel world. Also linked to TV story Inferno. That's a third Doctor story with John Pertwee. Also a link, a relation to Rise of the Cybermen slash the Age of Steel story. That's of 10th Doctor story, David Tennant's. And there is also a link to comic Final Genesis. Eighth thing is that the Doctor reminds Bill of her recent experience with death when they visited a garden full of dead people. He confirms this was only a few hours ago. That's a reference to previous uh, adventure Smile. So related to that. Ninth thing is that the Doctor reminds Bill that he is her tutor. We see that in the third episode of series 10, the pilot. The 10th point is that the Doctor once again notes humanity's habit of overlooking or forgetting the bizarre. There's reference to remembrance of the Daleks, Classic Who, and in the Forest of the Night. Um, 11th thing is that Nardell reminds the Doctor of his oath and that he said he wouldn't be going off-world. That's also an oath in the pilots and in episode 2 Spal in series 10. Next thing is that Nardell has made tea for the Doctor, also in episode Smile. Nardell mentions being reassembled. We see that in the Christmas special TV story, The Husbands of River Song, and also a Christmas special, The Return of Dr. Mysterio. Reassembled. Other thing is that the Doctor once more states that he is 2000 years old, and also a link in relation to mentioning in TV Adventure Deep Breath and Smile. Deep Breath is first on-screen adventure of the 12th Doctor in Series 8. Another thing is that the Doctor mentions how sometimes the Doctor mentions how sometimes the options available are limited and begins to say something about choices, alluding to the explanation he provided to Clara. There is a relation and link to TV story Mummy on the Orient Express. Another thing is that Bill questions if the Doctor cares about people dying. Psy had similarly questioned the Doctor's detest nature. That is in TV story Time Heist. Other is that Sutcliffe refers to the Doctor as Dr. Disco. It's also a thing in relation to TV story The Zygon Invasion. Other thing is that the Doctor and Bill return to the Doctor's office. And Bill remarks that it looks the exact same from the cup of previous Sonic's wooden raven and family photographs to the books, the busts, and the placing of the chairs. It's also the first episode of this series 10, the pilot. So another thing is that Bill uses searchwise.net to look for the serpent incident. Rose Tyler used the same web to look up the Ninth Doctor. That is in the third episode of series 1 and 9 Doctor story, Rose. Another thing is that Nordell checks on the vault. And it's also in the first episode, series 10, the pilot. And the last thing is that the Doctor once again differs to his human companion's judgment as to whether to allow a creature to live or die. There's also in the TV Adventures The Beast Below. That is a 10th Doctor story with David Tennant. And Kill the Moon, that's also a 12th Doctor story. So, and that, my friends, is the continue in context of the story in relation to other, or in link and refers to other stories to this. Yes, crossed over. Perfect. So, my friends, this is the 12th Doctor story, Thin Ice, on this Good Friday. It's good to live stream on Friday, so that's why it's called Good Friday. That's the reason why it's called for Good Friday, because it's good to live stream on Friday. That's my own explanation, by the way, or you have another explanation of this day, but that's my explanation. A good day to stream on Friday. Good Friday. What all lights? Nice. Ollie? Yeah. So, um, it is the time for the commercials, and then we will wrap it up. So again, sci-fi and fantasy fans. Oh, by the way, also if you have another genre you like, is also you are welcome here. By the way, so fans for whatever what meet on the channel for yes about their beloved books. Yeah, I like also reading. Did you know that I like Tolkien, The Lord of the Rings, for example? I like that genre of fantasy things. So. Yeah, writers like Terry Brooks, and so yeah. Also, I like sci-fi fantasy books. And we can do that in the future. Depends on if there's any interest of people to talk about such as books. So yeah, you can call me. Movies, series, and franchises. Yes, there are so many. And we also talk about food and drinks, music and sport. And an idea is to do also live streams about music genres and styles, because I'm a huge music lover. I have I have a lot of CDs and LPs. I have various interests in different eras, different genres and styles. So maybe it's interesting to talk about the different genres and styles and the favorite artists in the genres and styles. But that's an idea for in the future. I want to, because we want to have variety on this channel. But I have all. But we have a special place on this channel for Doctor Who, and a special place in my heart. And yeah, okay. And we can also talk about sport. By the way, I like darts and snooker very much. I'm not so much a football fan or soccer, what you call it. But I like also, the world championship of football soccer. I don't know what's the meaning of it. What actually is called soccer or football is a difference. Whatever. I like more the international teams. That's it. Not club teams, more world teams. Uh, but I mostly like watch darts and also snooker and also I like winter sport. So maybe also some ideas to talk about these sports. But if you other sport you can spoke, and food and drinks. I like restaurants. I like Chinese. I like Italian. Yeah, we can talk about all these things. So that's across variety and random. All the much of these. Have you got some suggestions? You can call me. Call me. Quote. You can contact me. So, random, because we'll discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies, series, books, blah, blah. Yeah, that's what I net said. Random, because we're broadcast on non-fixed times, actually on many different times. You need to subscribe to this channel to know what time the broadcast is. And it depends also on your time zone. Mm. Random also because we have no guests or different guests. It depends who wants to join me in the live stream or panel. If you want to join me in the live stream, feel free to contact me via Discord. You can send me a DM on my Discord server, or you can actually I can put a comment under the video to contact me, and we will look what is possible. Discord server is called Random Entertainment Channel Tech Doctor Who. I pump the server regularly. You can find me in Discord, and the server invite is on my info page of this channel. And again, I want to remember you to this fact that the 10th and 11th of May 2024, episode 1 is called The Call of the Universe. You can see that on BBC One, BBC iPlayer, or Disney Plus. It depends on what stream you use, and which country you live, yeah, whatever. And after that, also 10th and 11th of May 2024, episode 2, The Devil's Court. And a very quick the possible titles of the other episodes. Episode 3, Dream a Little Dream of Me. Episode 4, Albion. Episode 5, Copycat. Episode 6, Notice Neptune. Episode 7, The 3 Body Problem. And episode 8, Goodbye Ruby Sunday. That are the episode titles, probably for season 1, or you can name it series 14, whatever. So these titles are most likely season 1, series 13 titles, so they're subject to change. So we will see. We will see. But it's most highly possible that this will be the titles of the new episodes of Doctor Who. Oh, no, I'm looking forward to the new episode. I'm very curious. So, this is what I want to say to you. Cheers, mate, and have lots of fun this Easter weekend. This is your host, Enigmatic Joker. I wish you a very nice weekend. Have a nice one, and yeah, enjoy this weekend. Enjoy Doctor Who. Enjoy this weekend. Yeah. So, have a good one with your friends, family. Enjoy. Hey, we see you. I will see you next time. So, bye bye and zwei zwei. Aha, doei. Doei doei.